And it's going to be hard because everything that's worthwhile is hard. Everything that's worthwhile takes time. Everything that is worthwhile takes you practicing and getting better at it. Talking to other people, being in a good relationship, sex, cooking, driving a car, being good at your job. Anything you want to be able to do well is going to require your time and it's going to require your effort. And the moment we stop telling ourselves that if we're struggling, that means we should go to something else. And I'm not saying you should do everything that you struggle in. We need to be selective. But the moment we let go of that story, we get a choice now. Now, when something gets hard, you get to pause and you get to look and say, but does it suck in a way where if I keep going at it, it's going to get better and my life gets better? Or does it suck in a way where I need to let it go? And I'm actually putting this specific piece in the book. It just takes a paragraph, but I can tell you to you right now. People ask me this question all the time. They say, well, if it sucks when I'm heading in the right direction, it sucks when I'm heading in the wrong direction, how do I know which way I go, right? Because it's all pain. And I say, pause for a minute, close your eyes like Kate's doing, close your eyes and go, if I keep going down this path, this hard path, if I figure this thing out and I get to the other side, is my life better or not? And I can tell you, I didn't have this perspective. Nobody told me this shit when I was selling drugs and smoking meth every day. But if I got better at drug dealing and doing meth, dating strippers, which is what I was doing 20 years ago, if I really picture that out all the way to the end, there were no great outcomes, right? There was not a lot of really positive ways my life was gonna work out. I was probably gonna die, somebody was gonna kill me, or I was gonna end up in prison for the rest of my life. There are very few people that keep going down that path and do well by themselves. And then I close my eyes and I go through, let's say, the rehab situation I went through, and it sucked. Having to go talk to people about feelings. I didn't know how to talk about feelings. It was horrible. When I messed up, they would all point out that I messed up and call me on it. And one time I had to write like 10,000 words on why I think I'm special. There were so many moments that felt terrible. But if I closed my eyes and I went, okay, if I don't know if it's true, but if I do this and I keep doing it well, and I can manage a new way of life, does that get better or not? Right? That's the question. I saw somebody mentioning in the chat Kobe Bryant. This Kobe Bryant, Michael Jordan, but like, I can go with sports, right? Take Muhammad Ali, Abraham Lincoln, Jeff Bezos. Pick any success story you want. There are no, I've kept this challenge up and I will put it up again every couple of months. If one person on this call can ever point out to me an individual who was massively successful in life, but never dealt with failure and doubt and struggle on the way there. I need one example. I don't need two. One example, I will give you lifetime access completely for free for as long as you want. I will keep that challenge up as long as you want. Mostly because if you start researching this shit, you will realize that it just doesn't freaking happen. Everybody wants Jeff Bezos money. How many people are willing to work in their garage for 15 years when everybody thinks they're crazy, making absolutely no money, trying to build something that nobody's built before? Or how many people are willing to, I'll take the Michael Jordan thing, right? Keep taking attempts at game-winning shots, knowing at best you're gonna make half of them. And the half you make, yeah, people are gonna be really, really happy about, but the half you lose, people are gonna be really mad at you for. Or, and I have to adjust this because I've done more research about this in my book recently about Thomas Edison and the light bulb. Thomas Edison thought it was gonna take him 3 to 4 months to be able to create a working, functioning light bulb that would be on for at least hours that people could use to light up at night, essentially, right? The idea was, all there was at the time was oil lamps. None of us can even conceive of a world like this, but there's a lot of problems with that. You can burn yourself, right there. You have to transport the oil to get it, or you can run out of it. So the idea was, he thought it was gonna take him a couple of months to come up with a light bulb. Well, it took like 14 months. And it took 14 months of his entire staff. He was a very famous inventor by that point. He had an entire staff dedicated to doing that. Nobody thought he could do it. And it took at least 1,000 separate experiments. So the quote that is attributed to this normally is, I didn't fail 10,000 times. I just found 10,000 ways not to do it. And I always made the mistake that I think is common, but maybe I'm the only idiot that made it, to attribute that quote to the light bulb in particular. But I don't think it was attributable to the light bulb in particular. It was attributable to all the stuff that he did in his lifetime, right? He's essentially saying, I've failed 10,000 times, but by failing 10,000 times, I've succeeded all the times that I have. But for the light bulb alone, they ran over 1,000 experiments. That's a freaking light bulb. And yes, it was life-changing.